Underage drinking is when anyone under the minimum legal drinking age of 21 drinks alcohol. According to the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, quote, by the age of 15, half of teens have had at least one drink, and by the age of 18, more than 70% of them have had more than one drink. As a college student, some people want to try new things, and drinking was one that not everyone tried before they came to college. Although the minimum drinking age is and has been 21 for about 30 years, underage drinking can lead to binge drinking, health concerns, and automobile accidents. It should be lowered to 18 because if people are free to drink when and where they want, those risks could be lowered. I'm going to talk about why the minimum drinking age should be lowered, alcohol and prohibition, and the reasons why it should stay at 21. Just because some people oppose the lowering the drinking age, it does not mean others do not have a different approach. Some people are in favor of changing the drinking age to 18 because of the things that underage drinkers do. There are ways to get around the laws that are set. A couple of them are getting a hold of a fake ID and knowing people that are of age that will willingly buy alcohol for those who are underage. A vast majority of college students drink, and even though some are underage, fake IDs are very popular, and underage students know students that are of age. As stated by the December 29, 2011 issue of The Times of India, quote, young people in India have found a way to get past strict checks at pubs, and that is by making a fake ID, unquote. Julia Martinez has done research, and it was found that, quote, fake IDs are highly prevalent, but it is not known how they are obtained, end quote. Through a survey done of college students, quote, some either bought it from someone, the internet, or a retail outlet, it was given to them by a relative, it was given to them by a non-relative, or it was given to them by a sorority or fraternity member from a sorority or fraternity that they are a member of. No matter what the law or bars or retail stores try to do to crack down on looking for underage drinkers, there will always be a way around it because of technology. For example, Iowa has put out the idea of driver's licenses or IDs on an app for smartphones. Henry Wexler and Tobin Nelson put their research into an article called Will Increasing Alcohol Availability by Lowering the Minimum Drinking Age Decrease Drinking and Related Consequences Among Youth? Something they found was that, quote, lowering the drinking age is consistent in other countries, many of them being European. So this is a map of Europe, and it shows like what the drinking ages are, and 18 is orange, which is a majority, and even 16 is green, and there's no minimum age, which is the blue. Wexler and Nelson also reveal that, quote, panels of experts and government officials find the age of 21 effective and recommend closing loopholes in the law and strengthening enforcement. Though it is effective, if it is high enough demand, there will be some way or another to get through the loopholes. There is some good that could come out of lowering the drinking age. Quote, by changing the minimum drinking age to 18, it may encourage underage drinkers to drink in a public setting where intake can be monitored. According to Jeffrey Jones, in his article, Americans still oppose lowering drinking age, reject lowering age to 18 by 74% to 25%. With intake being monitored, it can keep people from getting alcohol poisoning or even drinking more than they can handle. The minimum drinking age has been the same for 3 decades, but that will not stop anybody from underage drinking. Even if it was changed to 18, there will still be rules like how they are for 21-year-olds now. Next, I will talk about alcohol and prohibition. Drinking has changed more often than we know since alcohol has been discovered to be a problem. From 1920 to 1933, alcohol was prohibited. In research done by Joseph Carroll, it is found that, quote, in the 1930s, the drinking age in most states was 21, and went to 18, 19, or 20 in the 1970s. Then in 1984, Ronald Reagan signed and passed the Federal Uniform Drinking Age Act of 1984, raising the nationwide drinking age to 21. In an article by Mark Thornton titled, Alcohol Prohibition Was a Failure, he says that, quote, it was originally a plan to reduce crime and corruption, solve social problems, reduce the tax burden created by prisons and poorhouses, and improve health and hygiene in America. It was a miserable failure on all counts. Prohibition removed a significant source of tax revenue and greatly increased government spending. It led many drinkers to switch to opium, marijuana, patent medicines, cocaine, and other dangerous substances that they would have been unlikely to encounter in the absence of prohibition. Bootleggers, people who illegally sold alcohol, were a problem when prohibition came into play. End quote. In Prohibition, the Noble Experiment, David Hansen states that, quote, for those that broke the law by drinking, people suggested the government should distribute poisoned alcohol through bootleggers, and they knew that several 100,000 Americans would die as a result, but thought the cost well worth the enforcement of prohibition. End quote. Others suggested that those who drank should have other consequences, such as execution, branding, swallowing castor oil, and other forms of torture. Different alcohol can have different effects depending on the alcohol concentration and other characteristics. Moonshine, absinthe, and Everclear are all dangerous because of their contents and effects. Some moonshine contains methyl alcohol, and most people who make it do it illegally, so they do not have to pay a federal tax. Absinthe has anywhere from 55% to 75% alcohol content, which makes it 110 to 144 proof. Finally, Everclear can be as high as 190 proof or 95% alcohol. More times than not, it is stronger than some brands of whiskey, vodka, and gin. Now that I have talked about alcohol and prohibition, I will talk about why people do not think it should be lowered to 18. Some people oppose the drinking age of 21. There are big concerns of those who want to keep the minimum age at 21. Some of them include binge drinking, giving into law breaking, and it will cause more accidents. In Time to Lower the Drinking Age, Mary Kate Carey stated that, quote, the times have changed since I was in college, end quote. She claims that, quote, the legal age was 18. Student gatherings at the university often had beer. Fraternities had kegs on their lawns, and there was no need for pre-gaming, end quote. Pre-gaming is binge drinking before going out because people who are underage cannot drink in public, like at bars or restaurants. This could lead to alcohol poisoning because they drink so much. Carey's research has also shown that drinking is the leading drug problem in the United States, and that lowering the drinking age will cause more alcohol-related car accidents. Drunk driving deaths have increased in the past 30 years, and it was even a problem when 18 to 20-year-olds could legally drink. Some of the survey answers fluctuated according to age and gender. According to Carroll's poll from Most Americans Oppose Lowering Legal Drinking Age to 18 nationwide, 6 in 10 Americans support stricter penalties for underage drinking. Quote, in 2007, 18 to 34-year-olds were in favor of lowering the drinking age, almost 2 times more than the 35 and up age group. When it comes to men and women, though more of them as a whole still oppose lowering the drinking age, men were in favor by 3% more than women. I have discussed why the drinking age should be lowered, alcohol and prohibition, and why it should stay at 21. If you're under 21 and drink, do it responsibly and carefully, or nobody will ever change their mind about lowering the drinking age. Changing the drinking age will be a very big change for society if it is ever favored enough to do so. By doing this, it would cause a lot of controversy between age groups, but the younger ones would feel more free.